Good morning, everyone. Oh, I hope I haven't kept you waiting for too long. I was running around cutting out the pieces that I need for this project today, and isn't this cute? This is what I call my tropical leaf tea light lantern, and I've made tea light holders before, but this is a little lantern, and I was thinking about this all week, how to make this design, because I had a design and it didn't quite work. I started off kind of with my basic tea light holder design, but with this lantern, I had to find a way to get this tea light inside here while still having this part, not come off, because this is where you're going to hold your little lantern. And I can see this. I can see this even like for like a summer wedding. I can see this for like different things. It's going to make a cute little birthday gift. It's just really cute. And this time it doesn't involve candy. I know my designs are known for candy, but I love this design so much. I've never done a summer tea light holder. I just don't even think about it in the summertime, but in the summertime sometimes it's nice to have like a little decoration, like maybe with low lights, and this would just be cute, a little table favor. So one thing I do want to mention, and I could have sworn when I looked at the availability of products that the tea tropical leaf stamp set was still available, and it is not. So the punch is available right now, but the matching stamp set that went with it, this stamp right here that says thanks so much, and the veins of the leaf, they are just not in the store. I could have sworn this week. Anyway, this punch was an online exclusive. So once this punch sells out, it's no longer going to be available. So I'm going to show you how to do an alternative to the veining instead of stamping. And I know we can find different greetings to put up top here, so that's not too tragic. But if you have the stamp set, then you can go ahead and stamp the veins. And if you want to use that greeting, you can use the greeting. So we're just going to pivot a little bit, and I'm going to show you kind of a way that you can do this. So you can still do the project. The other part of the project that you're going to need is, and this is a product I overlooked in the annual catalog. This is called the Nested Essentials dies, and I love nested dies. And I just overlooked them because usually I'm looking for bundles, but these are fantastic. So I'm using this top die here, and that's what creates this handle up top here. You can probably see the stitching on there, and I think that adds a nice little touch to the top of the lantern. So I'm going to show you how to make this from start to finish today. And if you have any questions for me, please ask them. I am not one of those demonstrators who can read comments and work at the same time, because I get distracted on tangents and stuff like that. So I prefer to answer them afterwards. So scribble down your questions. Let me know if there's anything I can explain better as we're going along. I'd be happy to do that once we're through the project. One more thing I will mention is that I do have a host code going for this month. So if you see supplies along the way, say you want to make this project and you're planning on placing an order, if you place the order with me using this host code right up here that I popped up, I have a monthly host code, you will be getting a gift from me. You have to spend at least $50, and I have lost my gift, which all right, I can't see it right now. They are these cute little star trinkets. If I find them later on, I'll pop them up. I will tell you one thing. Our son and his girlfriend is arriving. They're arriving today, later on today. So I'm a little bit of a hot mess because we've had work done on our house that we just moved into in July. And so my brain is like, boo, boo, boo. It's amazing. I still had the brain to create a project for this week and show it all to you. But anyway, getting back to the host code, we're going to have the star trinkets as our gift this month. They're these beautiful little stars, perfect for your holiday projects. So if you're planning on placing an order anyway, and getting the tropical punch and the nested essentials dies, you may as well get a gift for that too. So use the host code, and I would be happy to be your demonstrator if I'm not already your demonstrator. All right. Okay, let me close that out, and I'm going to switch my camera real quick here. All right. Okay, let me just show you real quick before I forget. So I've got to get this tea light holder or tea light out of here. You just kind of have to maneuver this upside down, and I like to stick this out first, and then I just push out the bottom, so you can turn it off and on again. So I just stick the fat piece in first and then push it down. And I've created a bit, I'll show you as we go along. I've created, I don't know if you can see down there. No, you can't, it's too dark. But I've created a little tiny box inside there. So when this lands at the bottom, it's gonna stay centered in your project. Here, I'll see if I can pull up. I started with, this is what the base started like, but now this little piece here is on a diagonal, which I found better. So it has this little place down at the bottom so that it stays in one place. But just if you're creating this, I think it works a little bit better if you put it on the diagonal. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like the diagonal bounces this into spot a little bit better. But that's just, so we'll just turn this back on for a sec. Now it's lit. Stick the bottom in first and then drop it in. And for some reason, when I throw that in there, it just sticks in the bottom in the center. Now, of course, if you shake it up, it's going to be elsewhere. But as long as you're holding it upright, it's going to stay in the center of your lantern, which you want because this has windows all the way around. Okay. Oh, and this is vellum here. So don't forget to pick up some vellum if you're making this project. Oh, I have so much to show you. So let's get started. And I hope I can remember. I will have a project sheet for this. So if you want my project sheet, make sure you're on my email list. It is not even started yet. Unfortunately, I had such good intentions yesterday, and then I had to, it's our son's birthday at the end of August, so I baked him a birthday cake. So my project sheet would have been ready if not for the birthday cake, which is so important. I didn't want to miss out on making my son a cake. All right, let's start off with the sides. Let's pop these over here. There is just big messes going on outside of your view. Running across, grabbing my scoring board. Okay, let's bring this in. Let's put this over here. Let me move everything out of the way. Got so much stuff going on. All right, so this piece right here is 10 1/4 by 3 1/4. We'll pop this up at the top here, and we're gonna score this at the 2.5 inch mark, the 5 inch mark, the 7.5 inch mark, and the 10 inch mark. So once again, 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. All right. And I'm just using the regular weight, basic weight for this. And let me think real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna fold this along the score lines. Using my bone folder to smooth out the folds. Oh, you know what? I probably didn't need to do this yet, but probably would have been easier to do my punches first. So I will make sure I get this correct order and directions once I do my project sheet. I'm gonna grab my ruler real quick, because when I stick this into into my punch to do the punches, I want to know where to place the top of the leaf. So keeping this skinny side right over here, the skinny side, keep it to the right here. And I'm going to come down about 3/4 of an inch here. This is my Omni Grip ruler. I love this ruler. But if you bring your ruler down about 3/4 of an inch from the top, and you're going to make yourself some pencil marks, you need to find a pencil. Any pencil will do. Okay. And we're going to make some marks. Let me see. I want to mark at the 1 1/4 inch mark, the 3 3/4 inch mark, the 6 1/4 inch mark, and the 8 3/4 inch mark. Basically what I'm doing is I'm finding the center of each of these segments, okay? So that mark is the center of each of those bigger segments. You can see right here, it's about center, okay? Then I'm gonna take my punch. You don't have to do this, you can eyeball it, but I find my eyeballing is not so great. So make sure when you're punching that your cardstock is seated all the way in as far as it will go. And then I'm going to move my pencil mark. I could put it on the centering mark, but I'm going to put the punch just a little bit. Can you see? It's going to be up just a little bit. That tip of the leaf is going to be just a little bit beyond, or a little bit to this side of my pencil mark, because it's just kind of a fraction. If I'm dead on, it's not quite as centered as it should be because the leaf curves just a little bit. So if I just make that pencil mark just a little bit, here I can show you, just a little bit on the left side of the point, it's a little better. So let's take a look and see if that holds true. Yeah, look how nice and centered that one is. I think that's pretty good. So if we just keep doing that all the way in, and then we're just going to pull that mark just a little bit. It's a little bit more to the left side than the right side. Yeah, and it's still looking pretty centered. I'm still surprised that that works, right? So once more, I'll just show you once more once I've got it pinned down. So it's a little bit on, the pencil mark's a little bit on this side rather than on the centered side. All right, and it's nice that the punch has to be seated all the way in, so you don't have to worry about where it is up and down. You just have to worry about that little mark right there. Okay, we're moving along. This has a few little pieces to it, but it's so worth it, okay? So we're going to now attach the vellum to this piece. And so we're gonna need a bunch of little pieces of vellum. And I have lost several of them. Come here. Okay, so they are, I have 4 pieces. 3 of them are the same and 1 of them is different. So let's talk about the 3 that are the same first. So these are just a tiny bit smaller than 2.5 by 3 1/4. So I just cut them just a teeny tiny bit shorter because this is 2.5 by 3 1/4. So you want it just a little bit shorter so that it fits on there and it can fold, okay? And also if you cut this 3 1/4 inches, sometimes, you know, when you're cutting, this will be, see this one, even there's just a teeny tiny bit on either side. So if you cut it just a little bit shorter, it just works so much better. Then I have one piece that is 2¼ by 3¼ So these ones are 2½ by 3¼ and this one's 2¼ by 3¼ but on there are just a tiny bit smaller than that, each of these. Okay, so cut them about a 1/16 of an inch shorter. I will have the exact measurements with the 1/16 on my project sheet so that you'll understand. So now take a look. Now this little piece over here, the tab, okay, now it is over on this side. It's on the opposite side, okay? And this shorter piece, the one that's a little smaller, I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna put that one on this end piece without the tab. So this tab is on here, and on the opposite side I'm gonna put this shorter piece. The reason why is when this glues over to the other side, I want it gluing right onto cardstock. And you know what? I'm gonna grab my trimmer. I cut this exactly to 2¼ Go 1/16 of an inch shorter than that. So let me just do that right now. Just because I can see it's not going to give my piece a perfect fit on the other side. So let's see. Yeah, now there's enough room for me to glue that tab down on here so it lands on cardstock rather than vellum. Okay, so I've got all my pieces lined up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my glue and I'm gonna brush all around on the cardstock, trying to keep my glue like pretty light, just very, very light. And I'm gonna brush all of these on here, just a very light glue. You could also use, tear and tape, whatever you like. I like glue. This glue's phenomenal. For the price, this is I feel like this is the best adhesive Stampin' Up! Has. And I use it for most things, and it lasts a long time. Sometimes it will get clogged. You'll just use a paper clip, the end of a paper clip, just bend it out, and that will clear the nozzle. This is like the lowest tech, least problem adhesive that we have. And I love it. And it holds projects together. I always have several bottles of these on backup, even though they last a long time. I just never want to run out. But this is my fail-safe. So if you want to, you can let this dry on the side. And what that will do is it will help so that when you put these on here, no glue is going to squeeze out. But I'm going to live dangerously. I'm going to put these on here right now. And I'm going to start with my smallest piece on the end, the opposite end of this, where there's the tab over here. I'm just going to pop this on here. And I'm avoiding, oh shoot, you know what I did? And I did this the first time too. I put glue on here all the way to the edge. It would be better if I didn't go all the way to the edge here right now, but it's going to be okay. It's just that I've got a little bit of glue on this edge right here. So I'm just going to have to be careful that when I put it down, I don't stick to my countertop. So this should be centered right between the two score lines. And because hopefully you cut it just a 1/16 of an inch shorter than the measurements I gave. And you can see, as I'm doing this, you can see how you can see that score line in between. That's what you want to leave free so that the project will be able to bend. Okay. All right. So, if you're doing a wedding, it might be nice to leave these all white like this. It's very pretty. I added some ink to the back of this. So this is cool. You can choose whatever color you like. So I'll show you how to do that. And it's just an option that you can use. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take, this is a blending brush, and I'm going to take Old Olive ink. My project today is all about Old Olive, but look, you can choose whatever color you want. I'm just going to take my blending brush and I'm going to brush over the back. Okay, so you're not going to see this very well on the inside. Like, I mean, right now, can you see the ink? Maybe just a teeny tiny bit. So don't worry about how it's going to look. Just kind of brush it on over top of the vellum. It goes very smoothly. Vellum's a little bit, how do you say? It's a little bit, not shiny, but it's, you can get movement on it because it's a little slippery. Takes a little moment for it to dry, so you're just going to spread that on here. This one was the hardest one because of my edge where the vellum stops. And actually, you know, right now I don't need to have paper underneath here because, but I will in a second. So I'm going to do this. You know, I probably should have stamped my veins on here first. So in my instructions, I'm going to say stamp the veins on first. That's why I like to have the project sheet ready first, because I can kind of think things through. Okay, so now these have like kind of a green hue to them. It's not terribly crazy dark, but it is a little bit dark. Okay, so now if you're doing the stamped veins, say you were smart, and not smart, say you saw the potential, let's say that, because everyone's smart in their own way, right? So like, say you saw the potential of this bundle way before when it first came out in spring, and you said, yeah, I need this. So you already have this stamp. So what you're going to do is you're going to just go ahead and stamp. Now we're on the opposite side, and you're going to stamp right here. And I'm going to stamp 3 times, and then I'm going to do 1 with my template. Okay. The key with this is you want to let it dry. So you got your little guys. So we're going to do 1 over here. So what I did was I made myself a little template, and I will, if you want, I can include this template in my PDF if you want to use it, if you don't have the punch. So I have it on white paper. It's somewhat the same as this, but not quite the same because I hand drew it. Because I didn't want to copy a stamp, but I wanted to give you the option of, you know, what you were going to do in case. So I've got my Stampin' Blend. This is my dark Old Olive. I've lined this up, and I'm just going to trace this on here. Let's see how this looks. I did kind of a trial one, and we'll see if this holds up. Let's do that one more time. Okay, so it's not quite as dark as my other ones. Also, this is, you know, everything like doesn't quite match exactly. Like, you know how paint colors, like you can get the same paint color in different batches. Well, it's the same thing, different mediums, but there you go. I think that looks pretty good as an alternative if you want to get the veining on there and you don't have the stamp set. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. Just make yourself a little template, and then you can just keep tracing it over. It doesn't take very long with an Old Olive Stampin' Blend, or match whatever color you're going to do for your project. Say maybe you don't want to do tropical leaves in green. You may want to do them in purple or pink or whatever. You have the option to do that. So I'm going to set this aside now because it needs to dry just a little tiny bit, and we'll work on the rest of the lantern. Okay, let's put this ink pad away too before I stick my fingers in it. Okay, we are now going to create the bottom of our project. So the base of the project. So bring in your scoring tool again, and you're going to start off with a square. Fun square because it's 3 and 9 16ths. 3 and 9 16ths by 3 and 9 16ths. Okay, there's a reason for this. It needs to be just a tiny bit bigger than the middle part. So that's why we're dealing with a weird measurement. 3 and 9 16ths is just 1/16 greater than 3.5. So if you can find your 3.5 inch mark, go 1 tick further. If it has 16ths on your ruler or on your trimmer, just go 1 tick further and you will find the 3 and 9 16th inch mark. It's a square. We're going to score this at the 1/2 inch mark on all 4 sides. So let's do that. 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, and 1/2. I like to use my trimmer to do my cuts so I get them nice and straight. I'm going to line up my score line up here. We're going to cut here, here, and here, here. Okay, so just pick one side, any side, and we're going to do the cuts. And I'm going to leave this up and I'm going to bring it to where I need it. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut. Lift this, bring the blade down, and cut again. Now that I know how to do this, it is faster than scissors for me because I can get this lined up and I can do 2 cuts very quickly. Cut, lift, cut. Okay, so I can leave this trimmer out here for just a second. When I fold this, I want to show you. I'm folding this along the score line real quick. I should use my bone folder, but I'll do that afterwards. So these are going to come together like this, but you're going to notice sometimes when you fold, you're going to have like a little bit, let's see if I can get this right. You're going to have like a teeny tiny bit sticking out. So you can either angle cut those tabs on the side, or you can take a little bit off each of those sides. It's your choice. So one way, my scissors are under here. One way is to do this. You can angle cut the outsides. Or on this outside right here, you'll just have to check to make sure you've got the right side. Don't cut this side, the one with the tabs on it. If it looks too long, the other thing you can do is, okay, this is the side that needs to be a little shorter, so put your finger on it and bring it back into the trimmer. And now you're going to just take a sliver off of that side. It's about maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Now when those come together, you no longer have it sticking out. So you can either do that angle cut. They both worked out to be about the same. So maybe the angle cut's easier. I don't know. It's whatever you prefer. I'm giving you options. Design options. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to glue one end together, okay? you want these little tabs right here, they're pointing towards you. Okay, so we're gonna glue just part of this together right now. And we're gonna leave part of it open because it's easier to get this onto your base if you do it this way. So just make sure you do nice square corners. That score line and the edge are just gonna match up nicely. You want the corners, see, they just wanna match up nicely. Okay. All right. Okay, so now you're just gonna leave this open like this for our project. And we're gonna do the, remember that little square in the center that I told you about to hold your tea light right in the center so it doesn't shift? We're gonna create that now. So I've got another square, and this is another one with 1/16 of an inch. This is 2 9/16 by 2 9/16. So just find your 2.5 inch mark, go 1/16 bigger, and that's 2 9/16. So 2 9/16 by 2 9/16. We'll bring back in our scoring tool. And the same thing, we're going to score this at the 1/2 inch mark on all 4 sides. 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, and 1/2. All right. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to, I could cut this on the trimmer like I did before, but this time I'm gonna cut it just along the score lines. This one is hidden on the inside, so it doesn't have to be as perfect as the outside. So I'm gonna cheat and just use my scissors. So cut up along the score line just to the first score intersection like this. Okay, turn it to the opposite side. See where the tops are, and we'll cut and cut. We'll put this together basically the same way as the other one. And this should fit most tea light holders. You might need to adjust this base. Say, I don't know, I got these tea light holders a couple years ago and I reused them for my projects. So they may have changed in size. I doubt it. They kind of come in a standard size. But if you find that your tea light holder doesn't fit the square, you're just going to have to make it just a little bit larger so that you can hold it. So I'm going to live dangerously and put Tombow on all the 4 corners right away. Am I caring this time that there's like, it might stick out beyond the edges? No, because this is on the inside. And no one's going to see this part unless they tear your project apart. And then, well, I can't help you if they tear your project apart, right? Then that's destruction and they'll have to see how you did this. But okay, let's see. So if you don't angle cut your end, see how you have those little things that kind of stick out beyond the end? That's what I always try and avoid when I have a visible part of my project. Okay. So now, originally I did it like this. I glued it right like that, but I think gluing it on a diagonal is better. So let's do it on the diagonal. I'm just putting glue at the bottom here, and I want to try and center this into, just make sure you have about the same distance from each edge. This is going to glue down eventually. Okay, so now we have the bottom of our project ready. So I'm trying to think if we should, yeah, let's go ahead and assemble this now. I think this should be dry. We still have to do the handle on the top. So first, I've already folded these together, but we need to bring this together first. So this tab end right here, I'm going to fold this over. We're going to put glue along this tab end right here. You want enough glue, but you don't want it too many like big bumps. I don't know if you can see that. My lights in the studio today it's very overcast, so I have all my overhead or all my umbrella lights on, so it's washing out the white glue. But so this is folded over once. I've got that there, and then I'm going to fold this on top. And remember how we had this one that the vellum was a little bit it was away from the edge. So now this is why this is gonna, I think, adhere better, because vellum is a little harder to adhere to. And if you have the vellum on that edge right there, that edge is going to be a bit more bulky because you're going to be gluing on top of vellum. Whereas right now you're gluing the cardstock to the cardstock, so you do have, you do have a little bit of the tab, coming together, but it's basically, it's not going to bulk up because you're not gluing on top of that vellum there. Okay, so now we're going to just pop this in here. Let's see, I'm going to put that back there. Maybe this like this. I'm trying to decide which side. Okay, I think I'm going to do it like this. The seam isn't like a big deal on this because the seam is done so nicely. So I don't know if there's an edge that is better or worse. So this is how this is going to fit in, and we're going to glue this in like this. So how do I do this? I'm going to take my project and I'm going to put glue on 3 sides. So just down at the bottom, this width right here is 3/8 of an inch, so you want to keep it close to the bottom. I don't know if you can see that a little bit. And I'm doing 3 sides first. And the side that doesn't have adhesive on it is going to be on the side that has these tabs. So we're going to just kind of feed this in to the project, and I'm going to grab the side that is furthest away from my tabs right here, and now I'm pressing down on the seam, keeping some pressure here so that I'm making sure that I'm gluing this to the bottom, that my piece is all the way in. Just give yourself a little pressure, then turn it to the one side. Make sure you're pressing down so that it's gluing to the that side. And because this is on a diagonal, there's finger spaces on either side of that diagonal that you can press down on. And then this, you're going to press down on the other side. Make sure you have pressure down here so that it's all the way in. Okay. So that's what it looks on the inside so far. And now we can finish off this part. So if you want, put a little bit of glue right here and right here where those little tabs are going to be. And then you can put a little glue here and here and then here. And then you're going to bring this all together and then turn it, put it down, and give it a little pressure. Glue that last side together. It's just a little easier to do it this way than to do all 4 sides at once. Okay, so that tab right there pushed out a bit. So maybe doing the angle tabs would be a little bit better, because that one just didn't want to, was a little rebel. It decided to kind of come up a little bit. So I'm going to say angle cut your tabs. All right, so we've got this part of the project, and now we need to build that top piece. So let's grab our die, and we need 2 of these shapes cut out. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now I think this one would also fit on your mini machine. Yeah. So you know what? Shall we try it on the mini machine in case some of you only have the mini machine? Let's grab the plates that we need for that. Hello, little mini machine. I'm going to use my number 3 plate as my base plate. As I explained in other videos, my machine's a little tight and the recommended plate is the number 1 plate, but there's also a number 3 plate that comes with your machine, and it is a little less in depth than the number 1 by a hair, but it allows me to roll things through much more freely. So I'm going to use my number 3 plate on this particular machine. I also had the boho machine, and the boho machine didn't need the number 3 plate. It was fine with the number 1 plate. Every machine is different. We're going to be using the largest one of these, and I'll put my piece of cardstock on top here. So I've got number 3 plate, the number 2 clear plate, a piece of cardstock, and I believe this piece measures about 3 by 5 inches. Where's my ruler? I'll tell you exactly. Yes, 3 by 5 inches. Or you can use a scrap piece too. It can be a little larger, but not too much larger. And then we'll just pop this through and run it through the machine. Okay. So you'll want 2 of these, and I did cut one of these earlier, so an extra one, so you're going to need 2 of those. Put this out of the way for a second. And now we're going to bring in our scoring tool one more time. We are giving the scoring tool a workout today. I love it. I think this is my favorite tool, besides a trimmer, which you absolutely have to have. But a scoring tool, it's my love, because you can do so many things on it. All right, so I've got my piece up at the top here, and we're going to score this piece. So we'll put the long side up at the top. The short side is right against this edge, nice and snug on this edge. We're going to score this piece at the 2 1/8 inch mark, the 2 1/2 inch mark, and the 4 1/4 inch mark. I hope I got all these measurements right. I kept changing things. So 2 1/8, 2 1/2, and 4 1/4. We'll do this again. 2 1/8, 2 1/2, and 4 1/4. All right, so both identical pieces, and now I'm going to trade it with my trimmer. All right, so let me explain. These 2 pieces are going to become the top. We need to cut this off at this first score line, you know, where I scored 2 1/8. That's going to be a cut line. And the reason I got you to score it first is because it's hard to line this up on the trimmer straight because there's no other edge here. So by having a score line, you have something to follow now. So I'm going to pop this in here. So just keep in mind that, let's just line this up. So you can line your score line up with this groove right here, okay? So once you got that, just lining it up, pop it down, and we're cutting it. So this piece you can discard, and look, so this is what it looks like. Can you see the score lines? I'm going to do a diagram for you for the project sheet. Okay. And so this is what it originally looked like with the 2 score lines. 3 score lines, and now it looks like this. We'll do the same with the other one. Just line it up and give it a little cut. All right. So these guys right here, they have a little bit of a tiny bit of a point. So I'm just gonna angle cut this away just so there isn't that point right there. It kind of sticks out a little bit and I don't want that. So just angle cut that little bottom. This bottom piece is becoming like a bit of a tab piece. We're gonna glue it to the project. So this will be the top. So we'll do the tops the same. And then this piece down here gets folded in the opposite direction, okay? So this is what it looks like. This is the top, and then that becomes the tab. If you fold it in the wrong direction, just refold it in the right direction. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and we're gonna glue these together first. Oh, you know what we're gonna do before we glue these together? We're gonna stamp on one of them. And earlier, oh, this one's a nice happy birthday. Ooh, what stamp set was this from? And where did you come from? I don't know. Oh man, I chose another happy birthday. But this was from a project. Oh, this was from Beautiful Balloons. Oh, I don't know. I think I want this one. I also grabbed this one from Cheerful Daisies, which I thought would look really cool too. So we've got Wishing You the Brightest Birthday or Happy Birthday from Beautiful Balloons. That would look really nice on here, and it would mimic a little bit the thanks so much that we had in here earlier, okay, because it's kind of got very big scripty. Or this one, which says Wishing You the Brightest Birthday, which kind of, I don't know, with the light on the inside, it's like it kind of makes sense, like brightest birthday light. So maybe I should go with my original thought and just do Wishing You the Brightest Birthday. But I like this happy birthday too from earlier in the week. So you can choose. We're gonna stamp on one of these. So just ink your thing up. This is Old Olive ink again. The project with the old olive on it. Make sure you get it inked up nicely. Okay, that looks better. I'm gonna bring it up like that. Oh, that's gonna look nice too. Once we get the ribbon on there, it's gonna look really nice. Okay, so the happy birthday would have been nice as well. So, you know, you choose. You probably have a few happy birthdays in your arsenal. And if you're new to paper crafting, just choose one of the sets, or maybe you're making it as something else. Find a greeting that you like. If you need suggestions, if you're not doing happy birthday, if you're doing a different thing, if you need suggestions for a greeting that will fit on there, just send me an email or send me a thing through my contact form, and I will help you pick a greeting that will fit in that space. And if you want, I'll even send you a picture so you can see what it would look like. Okay. Just bringing these two together so they line up. Okay, so they're just glued together. We've got our little Wishing You the Brightest Birthday on the right there on the front. So bring back in your piece. Now you have to decide, have a look at your box and see, this side was like not quite as nice because I've got that little thing going on. So let's put that on, the back of the box, right? So choose the side you like. So we're gonna glue this right to the outside, and then we're gonna have a band that comes across to finish it off. So we'll put glue right here, and we'll put this down right here. Line it up. Whoops. Want it right along the score line. You know what? Okay, there's a better way to do this. Put this down, and now I can see the score line to line it up. I'm just putting this right below the score line. That's so much easier. Yes. So now that one's stuck. Now the other side might be a little teeny tiny harder because I'm working a little bit blind, but I can kind of still get my fingers in here and just line this up. Every time I do a project, the same project over again, I find better ways of doing things because I have like time to think, you know. All right, so press that down so you can see how this is already starting to come together. We need to do one last thing to finish off the box. I want it finished so it doesn't look kind of funny because the sides are open like this. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So bring in your scoring tool. I think this is the last time. We're really giving it a workout. Let's pop some things away. All right. Now we need a skinny piece. We're not going to use the full 11-inch length of this piece, but this piece measures 3/8 of an inch wide. When I'm cutting a skinny piece like this, I like to cut it off of a bigger piece because it's really hard to cut this off of a smaller piece. So I usually have like my full 8.5 width of cardstock on my trimmer, and then I trim off 3/8 of an inch, and that helps me keep it square. So this is 3/8 of an inch wide by 11 inches, 3/8 by 11 inches. Stick this right up at the top of your scoring board. And now I will give you the measurements. We're only going to score this 3 times, which might give you pause, but there is a method to my madness. Okay, so we're going to score at the 2 1/8 inch mark. Nope, I scored that wrong. Okay. I'm going to have to cut another piece. I was looking at my measurements for here. That's wrong. This measurement is correct. Let me go grab another measurement, another piece. Let's see if I can get 3/8 of an inch off of here. No, I'm going to grab, I'm going to show you what I did. I have 2 cutters, right? Okay, so here's my big piece. Let me show you how I cut this piece off. So I take my big piece of cardstock, 8.5 inches on the side, and I'm going to find the 3/8 inch mark over on this side. So just scoot, scoot, scoot till you get to 3.5, not 3.5, 3 3/8, 3/8. Okay, so that's how I get a nice square piece because I'm cutting off a bigger piece. All right, let's try this again. Lots of little measurements on my pad, and I don't have my project sheet done yet, but you will have a project sheet when you do this. We're going to start this again. 2.5, and then we're going to go to 5 1/8, and then we're going to go to 7 5/8. Okay, no fourth score line. So again, 2.5, 5 1/8, and 7 5/8. All right, we're going to start by adhering this on one of your blank sides. And I like to I think I like to start left of my greeting square. So we're going to do this. Put this on here. You can kind of see it's close to the top. Fold these along the score lines real quick. I'm going to take that first one and glue it right up at the top. Pinch down. You know, it kind of helps to make sure you've got your score line right on this score line right here. This first one, just get it right, get it square, and then it will help with the rest going all the way around. This first piece kind of anchors everything. So just make sure that lines up. It should. Okay, bend back this piece for a second. We're going to put Tombow along here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bend this back. Tombow along here, right up at the top. And hopefully these measurements will be pretty close to what you need. You might need to fudge a little bit going around the corner to make sure it stretches, but I purposefully added an extra eighth on one of the sides to give it a little bit of room coming over this top piece. So I think that works pretty well. And then we're going to do this last side, and you'll notice that I have not done that final cut. I didn't cut this right off. See, that 11-inch length is kind of like hanging off the edge. That's because I'm not exactly sure where your project will end once you wrap this thing around. And it looks better if you just trim it off yourself rather than a pre-cut thing. So now you can just take this and just trim it, and it should be nice and perfect. You know, there's a teeny tiny little gap right there, but other than that, it looks really nice and finished and smooth. Okay, so we're almost done. We're on the home stretch now. We're gonna grab some ribbon. There's lots of different ribbon that would look nice. I actually also grabbed this ribbon too, this gingham ribbon. This would look nice as well if you like the look of gingham. But I don't know, after I did this, I did this and I had it all done. I had photographed it and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't do any stamping or embellishing on here. And I was like, wait a minute, I need to do that. So we're gonna come through here. The easiest thing to do is to wrap this underneath through the hole, and that way it's gonna stay pinned to your project. Okay, so we're just gonna take this. I wanna make sure I have enough length of ribbon. So you see I just fed it through the back. This way it's not gonna slide off your project at all. Okay, I'm just gonna do some bow tying here. It's always fun to do bow tying on camera because when you do it without anyone watching you, you're just like, you just tie the bow and it works. And then when you're doing it on camera, you're like, huh. Also, I'm holding the piece away from me. So normally would hold it closer to my body. So anyway, it's working. So you just work the bow, work it back and forth until you get, you know, how you feel you like it. Then I'll just trim the thing, you know. So cute, right? Ah! Oh, I love it. And I do like this wishing you the brightest birthday. That's kind of neat, huh? I like that. Okay, I lost one of these guys today. I don't know. It has taken a journey all by itself. Okay, so now I have to decide where I'm going to stick these. I'm going to stick a big fat one up there. Oh, these are rustic metallic adhesive back dots. I thought they would look nice with this project because I have a little bit of golds going on here. So let's just add a few of these on here. And these would go nicely, like color-wise, these would go nice with so many different projects. There it is. It's so cool, right? It's so, so cool. I love this project. I'm glad I thought of it. I guess I was talking about tea light holders and how I was going to do one with a different set, and that got me thinking, you know what? I haven't done a summer one. So this is my summer lantern one. How fun, right? Okay, let me turn this on. Okay, and then remember to put this in here. Fat end goes in first, or the big end goes in first, and then just push it down and give it a little shake, and then it falls into, and you still can't see it but you saw me do it, right? The little diagonal piece at the bottom holds it in place, and you want that there because I've done tea light holders before and they shift around to the sides, and this way, when you see this inside a dark room, this is so super cool. And look at the greeting now, wishing you the brightest birthday, and you're giving them a lantern. Isn't that cool? I love that, how that greeting works. So I didn't have that on my original one. So just so you know, this is the Cheerful Daisy stamp set. It is part of a bundle if you want the bundle, but this item number is 161290 if you just want the stamp set. If you want the bundle, you'll just have to put that in the search engine on the Stampin' Up! Store. But that would be the greeting. That would look it's really fun for this project. I have off camera, I have this crazy tower of like stamps, and it's a big mess. I'm glad you can't see it. But look, so thanks so much looks nice on here. Or if you like the fill on here a little bit better, you could use like the happy birthday, which I think would fill a little bit differently than this one. This one's kind of more long and skinny, but if you want one that's a little bit more filling that space a little bit better, this is the happy birthday from Beautiful Balloons. Okay, so if you want a different look, but grab your favorite greeting to put on top of there, and it's just so fun. Cool little lanterns, huh? All right, I'm coming back over to you guys. Hello. I hope you like that project. I loved it. I love, it's funny because I spend time designing the project and I am like all excited and I photograph it. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even stick any ribbon on there. And so when I'm looking at my photos, I'm like, yeah, like the 3D design is like really great, but like, wait a minute, where did your artistry go at the very end? So here's the thing. You take my project and you decorate it up and you make it even better than mine, okay? Use my measurements, make a beautiful, the construction of the box so that you don't have to worry about that. And then take mine and make it even better because I spent my time thinking up the construction and the measurements, and I didn't have as much time for the artistry. And I love it when people send me photos of their projects, and I'm always like, oh my gosh, they did a better job decorating up the project than I did. So I'm not at all, I don't mind if you do that. Like, I think that's great. Go for it. I think it's beautiful when you can take an original and step it up in a different way. So, all right, let me remind you one more time. I've got my host code. It's right there. If you spend $50 with me this month, and use this host code, you can get those star gems, and they're adhesive back. And I know I had them here somewhere. They were, man, like this is like the Tower of Crazy over here. I should just grab a photo of them. There they are. I put them back over here. I've got my table with all my holiday catalog products that I bought. Here they are. These are called the adhesive back star trinkets. Look how cute those would be for the top of a tree on a card or a 3D project. I chose these specifically because I don't think they're going to last very long, and then they won't be available because I think these are just going to be really, really cute on projects. So I chose them as the first thing out of the holiday catalog as the gift, and they're not even available yet unless you're a demonstrator or unless you get the starter kit. You could put those on a starter kit order because we're in pre-order mode. So if you want to get the holiday catalog products early, you can place a starter kit order. And I had a customer that did that. She sent me her order with holiday catalog products on it. I'm like, I'm sorry, that can't be ordered till September 6th. But I said, like, just just if you want to know, if you want your products now, let me know, because you can put them on the starter kit. And we did the math, and she's like, oh yeah, let me get the starter kit. So she did. She got the starter kit so she could get the holiday catalog products early. So that's just a cool little aside if you want those products early. And I'm not demonstrating with holiday catalog products right now because I don't like not being able to order stuff like in a timely manner. Like I want to, if there's something that I love, I want to be able to get it right away. So that's why you won't see me start to demonstrate them until September. But I am mentioning the star trinkets because they are my gift. So order this month and you'll get them next month. Okay, I'll leave this up for just a little bit, and I'm gonna go and say hello to all of you and see if you had any questions, and I can answer them real quick. Hello, Mary from Indiana, and Renee from California, Dee from Kansas City, Deborah from Virginia Beach. Marty says this looks like a beautiful summery project. I love tea light containers. Well, I do too, Marty. Hello, Carol. Oh, you're in Boston. Yes, I'm in Sudbury, Massachusetts. We just moved here, and I think it finally stopped raining. It was like gushing, like lots of rain. Like this house is still new, so whenever like weather happens, I'm like going downstairs, checking the basement. So far, fingers crossed, the water hasn't been our issue. We've had other issues, but that hasn't been one of them yet. I say yet because I don't want to jinx myself. So I'm going to go check our basement afterwards. This is an aside, Carol, we put all of our things in the basement up on cinder blocks and plywood planks. So if there was water that came in, we have a bit to get the stuff off the floor because we've raised everything up. Like I'm paranoid about that. From every single house we've lived in, we've done that. So it's like a cheap way, we stack some boxes. It's a cheap way instead of having shelves and stuff to get things off the floor. Okay, Marty's in sunny Pittsburgh. Well, I'm glad you have the sunshine. I hope we have some sunshine later. Hello, Sandy. Marbear says beautiful. Well, thank you. Mary says, how cute is that? Jackie, this is your first time watching. So glad that you came. Elaine says, there's a lovely maple leaf in the new autumn winter caddy. That would most probably fit. Yes, I don't know. We'd have to measure it and see if it would fit. So just keep in mind for this project, this width here is 2.5 inches. And you want to have a little bit of room. There's about 3/8 of an inch on either side of this hole, kind of all the way around at its widest point. You don't want to fill that area completely. You want to have a little bit of space. So if I just measure my leaf, if you go across on my leaf, you can always alter dimensions. So this is about the leaf measures about 1.75 inches across by probably about 1 7/8 inches high. Okay, so you want to be in that ballpark if you're going to alter, if you use these exact dimensions, but you can play with them a little bit. But keep in mind, if you're going to do this top, like I've done the top, this 2.5 dimension, you're going to also have to alter the top. So, there's always, my original design, I made it a little wider, but I didn't quite like the look. So I narrowed it up a little bit. I had to narrow up this a little bit, but in the end, I love the way this turned out. Like really, it's my new favorite project this week. And I don't feel this way about all projects that I do, because sometimes I'm like afterwards, like I'm like, don't love that project anymore. But these days I've had a bunch of good ones, so I have to say I'm pretty happy. PA says use Velcro dots or squares to adhere the tea light holder closed. Yeah, you that would be a different way to do it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I'm going to think about that for next time. I wanted something super solid. You know, the way I had originally designed it, the Velcro wouldn't have worked, but maybe for this top up here, if you wanted better access, instead of gluing this top, you could put Velcro here, but then of course you'd have a little bit of a gap up at the top. But I think this works well. You know, you just, you know, feed it out here. There's room to pull it out. It's not a big deal. I'm going to turn these off and save their little lights. So let's pull these out right now. Whoop. If you get the, if you bring this out first, the candle out first, and then you turn them off. There we go. Okay. Good ideas, though. I love all of these ideas because I stick them in my brain and then they come out at different times. Laura says, her phone just notified you that you're live. Well, that brings me to a good point, Laura. I will love it if you would subscribe to my channel. You don't have to, but if you do, if you like what I did today, please consider subscribing because then you get notifications. Well, you have to hit the notification bell, and that will allow you to be notified when I go live. And I've been trying to do a better job. If you're on my email list, I will send out an email to let you know that I am going live, especially for my Friday project, because I really want you there because I put a lot of effort into my Friday project and it's fun to have a bit of a crowd. Marty said a template for the veins would be awesome. Okay, I'll make sure I include that on my project sheet. Karen says she's a little late, but it's her first time. Oh, that's awesome, Karen. Welcome. Hello, Carte Plus. Oh, someone's, one of my, I think it's a demonstrator friend because I recognize her face, but I don't know, I can't remember her name offhand because she uses a different name on YouTube. But she said the French set, the tropical, this one? Tropical leaf is available in French. So if you want this stamp set and you want the veins, you want to stamp them, you could get this in French if you wanted to. So that's an alternative. If you have trouble finding that one, let me know, and I'll point it out for you. But this one's available in French. Thank you for that. I was so disappointed when I saw it was sold out this morning. I was like, I could have sworn. I know I looked up the tropical leaf punch before I designed this project, but so I feel like the tropical leaf punch, once it's gone, it's going to be gone. So I don't know how many there are left. So it's not currently on low inventory, but I don't even think the online exclusives go on the low inventory list. So if you want to make this project and you don't have the punch yet, don't wait too long. That's all I'm saying, because I don't want you to be disappointed. Pat says, Brenda, are those lights you are talking about a must in making videos? I've always wondered. Great 3D projects. I gave my friend. Oh, so I have these big umbrella lights. I don't know if I can. Oh, they look like this. That one's the one. Oh, I'm hitting my ceiling. I have one on top of a file cabinet that's kind of just off of the view. They're not a must, but what they do is they diffuse the light. So when you have a light without a diffuser on it, it shines down and it creates a lot of shadows. So they're not a must-have, but if you have shadows on your projects when you're demonstrating, that's because the light isn't being filtered out. And those umbrella lights, they're not super expensive. I originally got a kit from Cowboy Studio that had the poles, the height adjustable poles, and the umbrellas. And I think they even had the lights included. And so it wasn't super expensive. Reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction. Marty says, if your hand doesn't fit into the box to press down on the sides, you can use a bone folder. That's a great idea. Yes, the bone folder is a good finger extender. Pat said I call them tent lights. They're actually umbrella lights. Sharon just mentioned in a video she's $1 million seller. Whoa, so are you $1 million Stampin' Up! Seller as well? Just curious. Well, Pat, no, I'm not. I'm not. So I would say the first almost, I've been a demonstrator 17 years, I think. And the first like 7 years of me being a demonstrator, I want to say maybe even 8 years. I did classes in my home. I didn't have much of an online presence, although I did start doing it. So I'm about halfway there. I haven't quite reached my 500,000 yet, but I'm getting there. It takes, it takes a while to get up there in the sales, but I'm proud that I'm almost to the halfway mark there. And, it kind of depends how big, how much do you treat it like a business right from the start, so I'm proud of all those people that reach 1 million. I'm getting there slowly but surely. One day it would be nice to hit that mark. PA says use corner of scoreboard or MISTI to adhere color bottom cardstock to white cardstock panels to secure even adhesion. That's a good tip. I have done that before, especially when mass producing. I don't know if it will always work here because we're dealing with so much stuff going on, but that's a good tip. Cindy says, good morning. She still has the Christmas tea light I did with a tree punch. Yes, I've done a bunch of them. So if you're on my email list, you can search my project sheet page. The easiest way to do it is to do like on your browser, say find in page. It's usually under one of the first menu items, find in page, and type in tea light, and then it should bring up all the tea lights on the page, and you can find other project sheets I have done, or do a search in my search engine on my blog, and you can find the other ones I did. Let's see. Pat says, this is such an awesome project. You're amazing. Aw, thank you. You're so sweet. Karen said, would it be cute with a pumpkin die for Halloween? It would be. Yes. With a lighting up pumpkin. Yes, that would be fun. I would do the vellum in orange then, right? That would be cute. Very nice. I don't know if we have a die this time around for that, but yeah, it would be cute. Let's see. Marty says, that is so cute. I could see them without a stamped greeting and use them around your porch. Yes, that would be fun. Or take, what I would do, Marty, go through all your stamp sets and find all of your inspirational greetings, like have a great day, or this is a great day, or whatever, or you're the best, and put like fun little greetings on them and then leave them around. So then you have like these little fun little inspirational messages with lights on them. That would be fun too, right? Cindy said, thank you again for a great project. Brenda Harrington says, very cute. Marty says, you amaze me with your engineering of your projects. Well, thank you. Lacey says, cute project. Thank you. Marty says, everyone remember to click the like button. Aw, thank you. That's a good thing too. Subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications, and click the like. I would love that if you would do that. Karen says, hello from Ashland, Oregon. Hello. And she's very smoky. Oh, yes, my poor family in British Columbia right now, they are really getting hit with heat and smoke from forest fires. It's not great. My poor mom who lives in a condo, and her health's not great, and they've had nothing but heat and smoke. It's not not been good for them. And here in the Northeast, we've had so much rain, and they could use the rain. I wish I could send them the rain, because it's they need the rain. We don't need it anymore. We've got a lot of water here. So I wish I could send you some water too, Karen. That would be great. Linda says, hi from Happy Valley, Oregon. Oh, we've got Oregon is represented today. Laura says, if you use the maple leaf, you could use reinkers to dab the vellum to see through to make a fall leaf. Oh, what a great idea. You guys need to be in my studio while I'm creating, and we'd make like several different boxes with, and you would help me make them better. I love that. Laura says she's subscribed. Awesome. Lorraine says, thanks for this wonderful project. You're welcome. Marty liked my inspirational greeting idea for the little lanterns. And on that note, Marty says, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for coming up with a great project. And happy birthday to Nicholas, our son. Yes, Nicholas, he and his girlfriend, Caroline. Caroline has been in the picture for over 3 years. We love her. She's just so amazing. And they are coming to spend 3 full days with us. They arrive tonight and leave on Tuesday. So I might need to shift my Tuesday a little bit. We'll see what time. I haven't looked at what time they're leaving yet because I want to drop them off at the airport. So we might have to shift Tuesday just a little bit, my video. But yeah, so I will get my project sheet ready. I hope to have it out for you tomorrow, but you need to be on my email list to get my project sheet. So if you're not already on my email list, look down below. You might need to click on see more in the description and expand that section. Look for the link to say where it says subscribe to my email list. Fill that out. You'll get an email. You'll have to reply to the email because these days we really want to make sure people who want to be on the email list are on the email list. We don't want to subscribe people that don't want to be on the email list. So you have to click that secondary thing that says you want to be on my email list, and then you'll be on my email list and you'll get access to all my past project sheets, and you will get this one in the mail on Saturday. So I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Nalita says she likes it. Hello, Nalita. So you guys all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again next week with some more projects. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.